Good morning. I'm glad to be here. All the guests, the host, and also all the guest speakers and students. I'm glad to have this privilege to share with you my idea on SDG, business sustainability, and CSR. My background actually, I've been in the business school for 27 years. So before I come back here to join the GPA department. Actually, I'm a graduate of the GPA department. So I have been teaching CSR and business sustainability at both undergraduate and MBA level for almost 10 years. And so I understand that a great majority of audience today are students and prepared to go for entrepreneur of your career to set up social enterprise. I think one question I always talk with my students is that when I teach CSR, when should a company, a businessman start to do CSR? My experience is that most of students indicate to me that when the company make profits, then they will do CSR. But a few of them said that they can do it concurrently. But I counter propose that you can do it well before you start your operation of your business. Actually, you can do it in your planning stage. So I hope that all the future social entrepreneurs will start to plan their enterprise with a social good or SDG, CSR in their minds. So today, I'll talk about business and SDGs, mainly from a CSR perspective and with special reference to the Hong Kong BSI, which I launched a few years ago with the objective of engaging business and supporting business to do CSR for achieving business sustainability. I understand that SDG today is become very prevalent in the society when we talk about sustainability. Also in the business sector, they have been also thinking about how should SDG to appear in their CSR portfolio. So how to integrate that. But from a business school perspective, I just talked to Cecilia. It's difficult for us to change so rapidly to SDG because SDG is a concept that always is a living concept that always change from sustainability to triple bottom line, also to SDG CSR, we always change. So this is why I consider that CSR, corporate social responsibility, is a more a durable or a conceptual perspective we should use to understand business sustainability and also SDG. So this is why the line of thinking underpin my talk today. So just a quick review about the journey to SDGs. So actually SDG evolved from the 8 Millennium Development Goals raised in year 2000, and then 2012 to a set of DG, and then to 2015 explicitly set it as 2013 agenda, hopefully. So the journey starts from 2012 and hopefully to 15 more consolidate, and on the way, hopefully some achievement to be attained in 2030s. I think that's more explicit, and of course, UN Sustainable in the UN Sustainability Development Summit confirmed that. I think this is by no means unfamiliar to you. Are already familiar with these 17 SDGs, and including 169 targets. Is actually very ambitious program and very inclusive. I suppose any sector, any one of us can take part and contribute in this process. So, of course, today we focus more on the business sectors. So, how should we look at SDGs and sustainability and CSR from a stakeholder perspective. A stakeholder perspective is a key foundation, a key theoretical foundation for the business school, and with all the management program from undergraduate BBA to DBA program, we all organize our management program by means of stakeholder perspective, because we manage stakeholders, we care for the stakeholders. So all the issues we can relate to one or multiple stakeholders. So this is one of the most popular conceptualization of sustainability. When we talk about sustainability, we move from the narrow horizon of environmental sustainability, which proposed in 1987. Today, we expand the scope of sustainability to social and economic. So that's why. But if we look at it, we can see roughly that we can actually align the 17 SDG with these three aspects of sustainability. So I think I don't want to go into detail with that. But which are the major stakeholders? Of course, for those in the business school, they all know that we have a long list of stakeholders, but we normally pinch down in 7 major stakeholders in the society. They are very relevant to business management, including investor, but this is traditionally the most important stakeholders, particularly under classical economies, isn't it, Milton Friedman. So, but later on, we move away from just focusing on shareholders to employee, customer, suppliers, environment, community, competitor, and government. So this is all our major stakeholders that involve in this triple line of sustainability. So if we do one alignment, as I mentioned, that we would CSR should be a proper perspective to look at SDG, because CSR is quite established in the field and also provide a proper framework for business to engage in sustainability. So I propose that CSR as a means for achieving corporate sustainability through the notion of triple bottom lines. What are they? And if you single out social sustainability, mainly concern caring and responsible for community, government, and employees. So you can see this, which are the SDG relate to these 3 stakeholders, including the number 1, no poverty, the second one, no hunger, number 3, the good health, 4, quality education, 11, sustainability, city and community, employee, 5, the 5th one, gender equality, 8, good job and economic growth, 10, reduce inequality. How about government? Number 9, innovation and infrastructure, 16, peace and justice, and 17, partnership for goals. And environmental sustainability, mainly caring for the natural environments. So under which the SDGs includes number 6, clean water and sanitation. Number 7, renewable energy. 13, climate actions. 14, life below water, and 15, life on land. About economic sustainability, mainly caring and responsible for customer, suppliers, and investors. So the most relevant one is number 12, responsible consumption and production. So in this way, we can actually handle SDG from a CSR perspective, especially on the part of the business sectors. So I think they need a conceptual models to handle SDG within their the locus of CSR. So actually, as I mentioned, that CSR we can look at it from a more ethical perspective, business ethics perspective, but almost always the companies ask why they should do CSR. Because what in their mind is that they look for the business relevance for CSR. So a lot of companies talk to me that they can't do CSR just for the sake of ethical appeal because it's difficult to sustain. On the other hand, as I've been in the business school for 27 years. In the business school, it's difficult to tell the students, to tell the business sector, don't make profit, just take care of this, your social responsibility, isn't it? We can't do it because business operations, by definition, should be profit-making. So this is why I try to relate CSR with business sustainability. So CSR can be a business model. If you take care of all the related stakeholders in the domain of economic, social, and environmental sustainability, the company can develop their capacity to maintain their profitability, their capacity to make profit. The logic is very simple. If every stakeholder is hostile to your company, your chance of sustainable growth is minimal. But if every stakeholder is supportive to your business operations, your chance of sustaining your business growth will be greater. Of course, CSR cannot immediately bring profit to the company, but I think that it helps capacity building. So this is why, in order to promote CSR as a business models for companies to achieve business sustainability, we launched the Hong Kong Business Sustainability Index, so that company can get the model on one hand, can get the assessment of the CSR performance to get knowledge about their level of business sustainability. At the same time, they know their strengths and weaknesses and the direction for improvement. So our index not only announce the result, but also provide each constituent company with a report to show their strengths and weaknesses. So this is what we want to engage them. So because of our limited efforts, so our initial efforts mostly on the listed company, the Hang Seng Index company. So this is what I think. So the Hong Kong Business Sustainability Index, our positioning is that we try to inspire companies listed in Hong Kong to adopt CSR as a business model for achieving business sustainability, and to encourage high degree of transparency in CSR and sustainable communication with stakeholders. Why we encourage transparency? Because we assess their CSR performance and the level of business sustainability based on published material. So the more transparency, the more able we can make an accurate assessment of their performance. And to support and engage companies listed in Hong Kong in enhancing their CSR endeavors. As I mentioned, that we will supply them with a report on their CSR performance and the area they could improve for continuous improvement, and provide a CSR benchmark for both international and domestic references. Today, a lot of companies, they want to do business with other companies, with their partner, with good CSR record. So this index can serve this purpose. And also at the same time, we also try to provide a benchmark that can compare Hong Kong companies listed in Hong Kong, their CSR performance with companies in other Western countries. So I think we can make it more comparable. So I'd like to have spend a few minutes to clarify some of your doubt about reporting and investment versus assessment scheme. Hong Kong BSI is basically an assessment scheme, but in the market, in the business market, you can probably come across GRI, Global Reports Initiative. I think you're more familiar with ISO 26000 ES report, Dow Jones Sustainability Index. Recently, we have Hang Seng Sustainability Index. How is it different from our Hong Kong BSI? Concerning the first three, GRI, ISO 26000, and ESG, they are all reporting mechanisms. They help a company to communicate with their stakeholder what CSR initiative they have done and their achievements. So it's basically a report. But the report won't tell you how good they are, isn't it? Like every one of you will do a report or a term paper according to specific format, or even a dissertations. But although your work is conform with certain format, but it can't tell how good you are, isn't it? Our assessment scheme able to assess based on this ESG report or GRI or ISO 26000 report, we can assess how good they have performed, like our marking scheme on your dissertations. So we can get Dow Jones Sustainability Index and Hang Seng Sustainability Index, they are all investment tools. They are not, they group all the company with good CSR performance into an index, and so how their stock price change every day. So I think so of course, in the selection of this constituent company, they may also undergo the process we have to. They will do an assessment of individual company to only include those companies with CSR performance well above their threshold to there. So our index is basically and reflects the CSR performance of individual company, but not their investment values. But of course, indirectly, you may say that it reflects their investment values. So what's the latest trend of CSR and business sustainability? In most of the time, CSR has been approached by business company as a cause, responsibility, and public relation. But increasingly, companies have changed their paradigm of thought. Also, of course, with thanks to Michael Porter when he published an article informing the business sectors that they can use CSR as a business strategy to enhance their competitive advantage. They can do in 2006. So business CSR has increasingly approached from a strategic perspective as a business model for achieving corporate sustainability involving the triple bottom line. I won't repeat here, so the triple bottom line. And so what are the business relevant for CSR as a business management models? So he helped business to achieve sustainability through practicing CSR. So what are the business relevance? First of all, CSR can help company to build brand. Probably many has agreed that if you want to build brand for your company, it is a shortcut to do CSR. So this is why a lot of company, when they make a profit, they like to make donation and charity things. So due to a high level of commitment and loyalty among stakeholders, I think this is logical. If the company care for their stakeholders and be responsible to them, they will able to win the support of the stakeholder and contribute to more sustainable environment and reduce business risk. Even if you don't like CSR from an ethical, moral perspective, but today we talk about management of risk management. CSR is a very good risk management tool. Why? Because CSR asks companies to do their business, to operate their business well beyond legal compliance. If you go beyond legal compliance, you have a good buffer zone to manage your business risk. Like ourselves, when we are students, although we want to set our targets of studies, passing grade, but we don't want to be too thin the margin. We always set a higher grade, B or C, isn't it? Otherwise, we will not be able to get the pass. So this is why the management risk. Of course, create competitive advantage. That's the most recent development. Company become more to see CSR can provide them with competitive advantage. So this is the model we come to look at the company's CSR performance. So how companies should organize their CSR, or how should we assess their CSR? Actually, it's similar. It's the management model. We propose a management model. At the same time, we also organize an assessment model based on this business model. We start with the values. in order to be organized, every company should have a vision of sustainability or CSR. So how they approach it. And second is process, when you need to translate your value, your vision into practice. So the process is the operation stage. In practicing CSR, you are required to set up a management structure to do it. So you need a management structure and a budget, manpower to do it. And also, you need to have a practice, some project for caring individual stakeholders. So finally, we come to impact. A lot of time, company take it for granted, or even ourselves take it for granted. If you care, you are doing good for the stakeholders, good results will automatically come out. But that may not be the case. You still need to ensure that whether the expected outcome will come from your caring and responsible practice. A lot of time, even when we care for our children, arranging their trip in the summer for the whole summer program for them, we think that as a parent we care them, but when we ask them, they don't like it. They want to do it on their own, isn't it? So that's why we need to assess how good our CSR practice has achieved the objective we aspire to. So I think this is the impact assessment. Why doing impact assessment is management important? Because it allows you to identify weaknesses and achievement, and then provide you with the feedback to make ongoing improvement. So this, we, of course, our Hong Kong BSI conduct it on an annual basis. We hope to do it to provide annual support to business. So concerning the stakeholders, our assessment scheme focus on 7 stakeholders, just I have mentioned: community, customer, employee, environment, government, investor, and suppliers. So this CSR assessment, we use rating systems. So clear feedback on the impact CSR initiative, not just behavior, and the direction of continuous improvement. Our Hong Kong BSI include 15 constituent companies in the Hang Seng Index. Actually, we launched the Hong Kong BSI in 2015, 3 years ago. Actually, before that, don't misunderstand, we also cater for SME. So we have a Hong Kong SME BSI, which we started in 2012. So from our perspective, both listed company or small SME can adopt CSR as business model for achieving business sustainability and get the effect too. So this is the rating system we normally, but you can say that this rating is quite arbitrary in some sense, but actually we have been very thoughtful in exploring the proper ratio. So you can see that the rating between listed company and SME are quite different. So this is the milestones. We launched the first Hong Kong BSI in 2015, and the second one in 2016, and the third one we announced the result in 2018, and the fourth one we are going to announce the result in January 2019. Is a forthcoming event. So summary of the compilations is the 15 constituent company of Hang Seng Index, sustainability performance of the 15 constituents of Hang Seng Index, and also transparency. That's why I talk about transparency. CSR information published in their sustainability report, annual report, or company website, or recently their ESG report. And we complied between July and October. Why? Because most of company publish their CSR report or sustainability report toward the end of June for the last year. And result announcement, usually we like to announce it between November and December. So I can share with you some of the results you may be interested. among all the 3 years, you can probably see that there's been very explicit increase from the. We've used the first one as a baseline. You can see that the overall means has increased quite significantly from 41.75 to 58, over 50. But if you look at the top 20 companies, even more visible. And also Hong Kong-based company outperform non-Hong Kong-based company in the constituents group because you can see that most of non-Hong Kong business company listed in Hong Kong in the Hang Seng Index, they are mainland company, so they are relatively backward in practicing CSR. So you can see that more company appear in the top tier now. If we have how to understand the score, then although no company still yet have a company to be the top rank in the exemplifier, we can see that the second ratings, top ratings, space sector increased from 2 to 5 in last 2 exercises. We didn't have anyone in the first announcement. So the mean score also improved, but the winners are still impact management. Most company, that means most of the listed company, including SME, they are more aspire to practice CSR, but they haven't assessed their performance. So the assessment management still quite underdeveloped at this stage. So we also pointed out to most of the listed company. I also share with the top performers, the top 20 performing companies, the first BSI. I'd like to draw your attention that companies shaded in red in colors, they are actually mainland company. So you can see that they still have 4 listed company. They from the mainlands. Their performance actually went top 20. Second Hong Kong BSI also. The last one also. Consistently, there are 4 companies there. So actually, we hope that we can encourage listed company from the mainland to improve their CSR, to do CSR. Finally, we come to the leading the future about how should we understand the Hong Kong BSI. We look at business sustainability and CSR from a stakeholder perspective. We hope that they can, from practice to projects, more organized in their efforts. Consider the business relevance, CSR and business sustainability. Try to link CSR with their business sustainability so that they can sustain their effort. And implement a strategic mindset. Resources are not inexhaustible and must be managed wisely or for a larger CSR purpose or sustainability goal. I think they should have to do it. And CSR portfolio, greater integration and alignment of SDG with CSR. So I think that's the major topic for today, company to do it. So I don't know whether, but I still, I mentioned briefly the new initiative we would like to do to introduce the strategic sustainability benchmarking scheme. We aspire to launch a CSR rating and certifications for individual listed company and also SME with Hong Kong BSI as the benchmarks. So because we can only, at this stage, we can only do 15 companies. But many companies, they are now required to do ESG, and many companies are interested to know how good they perform in CSR. So in order to be impactful, we try to introduce this scheme so that company can take part in this scheme to get to know about their result, their performance, for their continual assessment and for improving their competitive edge. Because why this scheme is helpful? Because on one hand, they can get to know their CSR performance. Second, for brand building, if they achieve a positive result in their CSR performance, they can help to build brand. Of course, competitive advantage will follow and reduce risk at the same time. And most important of all, they also can help to manage the risk for their supply chain, including upstream and downstream. We can also, if they join the scheme, we can help them to assess the CSR performance of their business partner and their agents too. So that, because a lot of companies today, when they look for a business partner, when they manage their business partner, they take their CSR performance very seriously. Like CUHK too, when we have collaboration with other universities, we also look at their QS ranking. We seldom partner with university with a QS ranking lower than 100, isn't it? So I think that our company may also like to do it. So my final remark is that CSR and SDG, they have a lot of business relevance. And at the same time, small SME and also this company, they should also use CSR as their business models. The last one is that plan your CSR when you do your business plan. No need to wait until you make a profit. Okay, so that's what I have to say. So thanks for your patience and attention.